Once upon a kingdom in Dino Cuddleland, there was a very happy and playful megalodon who went by the name of Shiga. Shiga was a very special mammal and one of the king's favorite cuddlesaurs. The king would often refer to Shiga as his favorite megalosaur. Every once in a while, and at the request of the king, Shiga would put on a show for Cuddlesaur Nation with many water stunts and tricks that would bring the crowd to their feet. The princess was so excited that this day had come. She could not contain herself and woke up extra early that morning. With uncontrollable excitement, the princess went into the royal quarters, jumping on the bed of the king and queen, and began to shout.
Wake up! Wake up! It's time to prepare for a very special day at the water park. We are going to see Shiga perform, and you know how happy that makes me.
Yes, my princess, we can tell by your excitement. So we're getting up now.
My dear princess, your mother, the queen, and I are just as excited as you are. Just give us a moment to wipe the sleep from our eyes.
Okay, so while you do that, I will have breakfast served in bed to save you time. Prepare the royal tray for the king and queen to enjoy breakfast in bed.
That's so sweet. Perhaps we should schedule more outings to the water park if that means our dear princess will serve breakfast in bed, the queen says with a chuckle.
Once all the Cuddlesaurs were assembled, they headed off on foot down the road to the water park, where they were met by a pterodactyl who goes by the name of Pedro, one of the flying Cuddlesaurs and a regular performer who provides the air support in the Shiga show at the water park.
Greetings, Cuddlesaurs! Well, it's that time again. This is going to be the biggest and best show ever.
My dear friend Pedro, you always say the same thing when you see Cuddlesaur Nation heading to the water park for the big show with Shiga the Megalosaur. And you know what? You're right every time.
The princess replies with a wink and a warm smile.
Dear princess, I'm willing to guess Pedro says that simply because he's a big part of the Shiga show.
There is that part of the show where Pedro catches.
Wait, Trix. We don't want to give anything away. We want everyone to be surprised.
The queen replies with a warm smile.
Oops. Sorry, Ab. Didn't want to give anything away.
While Cuddlesaur Nation began to find their seats, there was a special announcement over the loudspeakers of a surprise guest joining Shiga and Pedro in the big show. Almost immediately, the Cuddlesaurs erupt in applause and chanting, Shiga, Shiga, Shiga.
Wow, this is so exciting! Perhaps this is what Pedro was talking about when he said earlier, this would be the biggest and best show ever. Can't you just feel the energy in the air?
Pedro always says it's the best show ever, as you know, Princess.
Appropriately so, my dearies. There's always some new and different twist to Shiga's performances in the show. This is why Shiga keeps us coming back for more. Always entertaining.
As the show begins, there was a certain Cuddlesaur noticeably missing from the audience. Gently leaning into Queen Abby and whispering into her ear, the king asked with a bit of concern,
My queen, where has our precious princess gone to? Did she go to get refreshments?
Not exactly sure, my king. You know our precious princess doesn't sit still for too long.
Shall I summon her? Don't want her to miss Shiga's big surprise twist.
I'm sure our sweet princess will turn up soon. Somehow she never misses those big special moments.
The show begins, and there's still no sign of the princess. All of a sudden, and out of nowhere, the princess enters, No, not as a spectator, but as the special surprise addition to the Shiga show. With a high arching ascend, Shiga shoots out the water as if she was shot out of a cannon, ascending high up into the sky to meet Pedro, the flying pterodactyl cuttlesaur, in the air. As Shiga reaches the height of her ascend, she then opens her very large mouth filled with all those sharp and menacing teeth, and out comes the princess, exiting without a scratch. As Shiga begins her descent, Pedro grabs the princess as she waves to the crowd. The crowd goes wild with applause. The king and queen were so surprised by Shiga and the new twist, their faces were captured on Cuddlecam. Later that evening.
Now, what a show for the ages! Well done, my precious princess, well done indeed!
What a precious memory! The Queen looks over, nodding at her bestie Trixie with appreciation for presenting her with a framed picture of that priceless princess moment. At least we now know what happened to our precious princess gone missing, and why she woke us up extra early this morning.
The best part of the show was the look on the king's face when he saw his precious princess making that grand entrance right out of Shiga's mouth, and with all those sharp teeth surrounding her.
That was it, Auntie Trixie. That it was.
The princess says with a wink wink.